What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. It's been a really long hot minute, and I am so excited to be filming. So excited and to share my birth story with you guys. And before I even get started, I just want to say thank you for everybody, for all the congratulations and all the love and the cute little things you're saying about our daughter. And it's just so overwhelming to know that she is already so loved and she doesn't even know it yet. And it just makes me so incredibly happy, and I feel so incredibly blessed to be where I'm at today in my life and to have you guys in my life, and just to be here. And to have her, it could make me cry. Hormones still. As you can see, I got the mom bun going on. I just really wanted to get this video out here. Out into this world. She's sleeping right now, and I will introduce her to you guys, but I wanted to get the intro in, and then I'll probably have her in here with me for the rest of the video. So excited to share this new journey with you guys, and thanks for all the support with, the pregnancy updates and stuff like that. Meant the world to me. So we're gonna go ahead and go on this new journey and start it off with the birth story and meeting little KAYLEIGH Johnson as well. So if you want to meet her and hear how it all went down, because the last video was the 38-week pregnancy update, so I did give birth a little bit early. Anyways, guys, if you want to hear what happened, then go ahead and just keep on watching. So guys, this is she's kind of waking up. No, this is Kayleigh. This is KAYLEIGH Johnson. I just feel so blessed to have her here. I just am so thankful for her. She's just been such an amazing little baby. Like, seriously, amazing little baby. If you want to see better pictures of her, I suggest following my Instagram, because that's already overloaded. But I want to get straight into this video and kind of how it all went down and things like that, because I feel like it will get really long. But I wrote everything down because I really want this to be in detail, and for people who are going to go into labor soon to have an idea of how things can go. And every pregnancy is different, every labor experience is different, every birth story is different, so just keep that in mind. But I want to throw mine out there to maybe give you guys a little bit more comfort going into this. So the last thing you guys saw was my 38-week pregnancy update. I remember saying in that video, there's a chance I could go in labor. Wednesdays I churn to a new week of pregnancy. That was when I turned to new one. And so I went into labor at 39 weeks and 1 day, so Thursday. And that morning, I started having contractions around 9 a.m. I was like, okay, these are a little different, something is off. And that same day, I had my doctor's appointment as well, and it was with my labor and delivery doctor. So that was a plus that I was meeting with him as well, because I didn't do the whole process until that day. Sorry if I'm making you guys sick rocking back and forth, but I'm trying to keep her asleep. So I started having them. They were mild. It wasn't anything too strong or anything like that, but I noticed they were there and they were irregular, maybe 10 to 12 minutes apart, something like that. So I called my husband, let him know hey, I'm having contractions, but we were heading to my appointment at 12, so he came home a little early because I was like, okay, they're stopping me in my tracks, but they're still irregular, so obviously I'm not super dilated or anything yet. So the appointment was at 12, and I went in, and they started just getting a little bit more where, not even as bad as it got, but just a little bit more okay, take a deep breath, they were getting there, but then I went in, and that day, I told you, I planned either to do the membrane sweep or not, and or wait till May. But things were just progressing. Things were going, and my mom was supposed to come the next morning, which I'll get to later on in this story if she even made it for the labor and delivery. I went in, and he checked me, and I think I was 3 centimeters dilated, and he said 90% of phase. I was having contractions, and he said, I saw in the notes that you wanted me to do a membrane sweep, and I was like, well, I don't know. I was so nervous because I just listened to everybody else and like how it like just sparked things and just started going, you know. And I was already having contractions, so it was kind of like, well, do we just do it because it's already happening? Like my body's already progressing and starting to go into labor on its own. So labor started for me at like 9 a.m. And so we decided to do the membrane sweep. Boy, that sucker, it does not hurt. So for anybody who tells you that it hurts, you just feel a little bit of pressure. I do have a high pain tolerance, so maybe it does hurt some people, but it didn't hurt when he did it. He just told me the membrane sweep is just going to help progress things. So when I do go check into triage or like go into labor, it's just going to help things go a little bit faster. She's having a bad dream. It's okay. She's scared of labor. Right after the membrane sweep, we decided to go to Sprouts because I was like, I am not going into labor. I'm not going to give birth with a hungry stomach because I know you're not allowed to eat. So I was like, we're going to go get some food. So we went to Sprouts, and the minute we got there, like I could not even walk around the store. Like I'm not even kidding you. I had to hang on to things. Everything was stopping me in my tracks. Like after that membrane sweep, not even an hour later, things just progressively just boom, like got worse. And like I said, it wasn't like horrible yet, but it was worse than the morning contractions. So I knew things are progressing. I knew that this little girl's gonna come anytime now. My mom's coming tomorrow. Like my head's in like so many different places. I'm like, please hold on, please hold on. And we got out of the store and things just kept going in the car. They were probably still like irregular, 5 to 10 minutes apart. Got home, the pain just worsened instantly. Like I sat down and I laid down on the couch. I was like, hey, I'm just gonna lay here because I knew I wasn't gonna be able to check into triage unless I was like, or like they weren't gonna like admit me, like check me in unless I was 5 to 6 centimeters dilated. So I was like, hey, I was only like 3, you know, at my appointment an hour ago. Like there's no way like I'm at like a 5 or a 6 right now. So it just got so stinking bad though, and this is like my first kid, so I had no idea, you know, like what like any of this meant, you know what I mean? So it was like, okay, like they're like back to back, they're really consistent right now. They got consistent for at least 10 minutes I waited as, you know, as long as I possibly could. They were 3 to 5 minutes apart. So I was like, let's call and let's just go in. So we called, you know, and they said just come in, triage, and the whole car ride, like I was like hanging onto the handlebars, and like, of course my husband's taking pictures while I'm in pain. Great. But the whole way there, they stayed consistent back to back, got in, got checked in, and I got there and I was only 4 centimeters dilated. I was like, oh my gosh, like I cannot deal with this pain anymore. And like, it was hurting so bad. Like, props to anybody who goes natural. Like, honestly, like, that's absolutely amazing. But like I said, it doesn't disregard the people who do get an epidural because you're still freaking amazing. They're around 3 or 4 o'clock Thursday on the 26th. This is still Thursday on the 26th. The contractions just seriously kept getting worse. And they're like, okay, well, how about you go walk around, which there's like nowhere to freaking walk in that place because you can't like go out the doors or anything like that, so it's like walking in a circle. And they're like, okay, go walk for like about an hour and then come back and let's see if you're more dilated. And I'm like, really? Like, holy hell, like I can't even walk right now. And so went walking, but had to stop and hang onto the rails like every like 3 to 5 minutes because it was just absolutely horrible. And so taking deep breaths, like in through my nose, out through my mouth, like just breathing really deep breaths. Went back after an hour, got checked again, nothing progressed. And so I was like, no. And so the nurse kept telling me, she was like, well, if nothing progresses for a while, we're gonna have to send you home. And like, you don't tell somebody in pain that, because like, I was already like, no, you are not sending me home. I will be here until I get admitted into this freaking hospital and able to get an epidural, because this pain is so bad. I'm not going to drive 30 minutes home and deal with it, and then 30 minutes back, and that's an hour, and then happen to be, 6 centimeters dilated. Like, let's just ride this out and see if it happens, And so then they had the doctor on call, that was on call, come in, and you know, that's how they have to do it. So he checks, he didn't check or anything, but he knew I was like 4.5 to like 5 centimeters dilated at this point, and he was kind of saying the same thing, and I was like, okay, but what if I'm in like, you know, like pain that is like unbearable to me, and like I, you know, can't deal with it, and you're gonna send me home? And he's like, well, like if these are really contractions, like it'll progress. I'm like, if these are really contractions, like really? Yes, they effing are. Like I will get so mad, like you're not gonna send me home. So things progressed, then she checked me probably another hour later. Like I could not move when they were happening. If I moved, it made it 1,000 times worse, which I'm sure all you mamas know out there. So I just stayed like huddled, like just in a ball, like dealing with them for as long as I possibly could and just breathing through them. But they were just so back to back, and like that hard bed was so uncomfortable. It was just a pain. And then you have like, you know, the straps around your belly to keep like your heart rate, the baby's heart rate, and just things like that. You can't really move around too much. She comes and checks me. So then at this point, it's probably about 7 or 8 o'clock at night. So I've been in triage for almost like 4 hours. And she finally checks me. She's like, oh, you're about like a 5.5, 6 centimeters, so we'll go ahead and admit you. And I'm like, thank you, Lord. Like, I just kept praying like the whole time that was happening. I was like, please, Lord, like, do not let them send, you know, me home. Just please, like, let me be checked in so that like I'm around, you know, nurses and things like that. So if, you know, the baby's heart rate drops or just anything, like, please just let me stay here. They finally admitted me, and before I was even admitted, she asked like if I wanted epidural or the other drug that you can use. I don't remember the name right now, like serious mom brain. The other drug though, which you guys will probably know what I'm talking about, that you have the option of, it only lasts about an hour, and then you'll still feel the contractions again. And I am very sensitive to like medication and things like that, and just get nauseous very easily. So I was really unsure about it, but she kept saying like, I think that's the way to go. And then, you know, my husband was like, yeah, let's just do that one. And I was like, hold the phone, hold up, I'm calling my mom. You know, we always call her mom for anything, because my mom is a registered nurse. So I called her, and she was like, just go for the epidural, like just straight up go for that. And like, thank the Lord I did that. So I got the epidural, got checked in, probably got that around like 8-ish o'clock. The epidural does not hurt bad at all. It's just a weird sensation. What hurts more is the contractions that I'm having in between while he's sticking this needle in my back, while I'm trying to be so still so that like he doesn't poke me in the wrong area, you know? So I'm just like squeezing my husband's hand and just, you know, like, Lord, please, like, hurry, hurry, hurry. Like, I cannot deal with this anymore. I got it in, and once that was in, 5 to 10 minutes later, seriously, life was amazing. Like, life was amazing. I was able to chill. I was able to have conversations. Like, life was just good at that point, okay? Like, everything was good. So I got that, and they say, like, if you start to feel pain, like, on your left side, then lay on your left side, so the epidural goes to that side. If you start to feel on your right side, then lay on that side. But when I first got it, I just laid flat so that the epidural could go on both sides, but then eventually it was best for me to like lay on each side. So as labor progressed, started to feel like the contractions again, just kind of pains down my side. So I would, before clicking like the epidural button to like shoot more in there, I would like try to lay on my side to see if that helped anything, but it did not. So I knew I needed to click that button again. So I did, and it always makes things feel better. That's for sure. So I probably clicked that thing a lot throughout like the whole progression of labor, just because like it'd be fine, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling contractions again. Like, I don't even want to go through this again, because like flashbacks of like what was happening like 5 hours ago, like no, and I know I'm more dilated. Like, I definitely don't want to feel these at all. So like I would keep clicking the epidural button. Everything was good, really chill. The weirdest feeling, my water ended up breaking on its own. I didn't have to have it broke at all. So around like, I think during one of their shift changes, the midnight like crew, the first like So you have like, I don't know, like 2 sacks, like only like the front sack like broke, which was like the weirdest feeling ever. The first part was just, it was just weird. Like I was just laying there and all of a sudden, psh, and I was like, holy balls. Because my brother and my husband were there. I was like, my water just broke. Like, it was so weird, and I thought it was the whole thing, because that was a lot of water. But it ended up not being when she came to check me and see how dilated it was when I was at like a 6 or 7. She's like, you still have like another half of like your water back here or whatever. She came to check me before like the shift changed, probably like around like 5 a.m. Like it's the next day by this point. It's the 27th, Friday, and she came to check me again, and as she was like checking me to see like how things were up there, the other half of my water broke, and it scared both of us, because like she just was like feeling, and all of a sudden psh, like so much more water. Like it's kind of like the coolest feeling ever. Like if you get to feel your water break, like it's actually pretty darn cool. And it's around 6 a.m. now, and like all of a sudden, like, because I kept sleeping off and on, like honestly not the best sleep that entire night. I kept sleeping off and on, and all of a sudden I started getting really, really nauseous. And this hospital lets you have, I know that some hospitals only let you have like ice, but they let me have water. I could have Jello, I could have Sprite, and as soon as I started throwing up, she let me have some saltines. I could have apple juice, anything that was a clear liquid, because if it's clear, they can see through it, is what they say, which I am so thankful for, that I could have water and stuff like that. Like, honestly, I stayed hydrated. I think that was absolute key when I was done giving birth, why I didn't feel dizzy or dehydrated or anything like that. I was guzzling water, like guzzling. I started getting super nauseous, and I just started like throwing up, which I know is a sign of labor progressing as well. But I started throwing up. I'd throw up like 3 times and I'd feel fine, and then I would start feeling contractions again, so I'd have to click the epidural button, and no longer than 30 to 40 minutes-ish later, I would start throwing up again. So I was just like, oh my gosh, like, is this gonna be how it is until I give birth? Like, I had no idea. So then the shift change happens. Like, a new person always comes in around 7 a.m. And I told her, I was like, I'm just really sick, and like, I was like, I'm feeling contractions, but I'm scared to like click this epidural button again, because like, is this like making me throw up? She goes, oh, I can give you like some nausea like medicine. I'm like, oh, what? You can? And I was like, is it gonna make me dizzy or like feel like out of it? Because I did not want to feel out of it, definitely giving birth. And she's like, no, like it shouldn't at all. So they stuck it through my IV, and praise the Lord, I was not nauseous at all the rest of the time. Not nauseous. During this time, this is the craziest part of this story. So 7 a.m. labor is definitely progressing. I'm at like an 8-9 centimeters dilated. So at this point, I literally could be giving birth at any point. My mom had she left at like 5 a.m. or something like that, but she got into Denver at 6 a.m. And keep in mind, the airport's about an hour and a half away, but the hospital was up north, so thank goodness it's probably about like an hour 15, something like that. So she lands at 6 a.m. and I'm an 8-9 centimeter by this time, and throwing up, doing my thing. God was seriously watching over us. Like, and this little girl waited for her grandma. I just remember asking my husband, like, where are they? Because the pressure just towards your good old vag, like, that's all you feel with the epidural is like the pressure. And so it just kept like getting more and more and more pressure. And I'm like, where are they? Like, I'm going to lose my mind. Like, they kept saying, okay, well, I'll be there by 8:10. Thank God every day for letting my mom be there. They got there at about 8:10. I started pushing no more than 10 minutes later. I started pushing around 8:20 a.m. on Friday, April 27th. And I was like, I got this. This is so, like, I got this. But pushing is one of the hardest things I've probably ever done. I pushed for an hour and 8 minutes. This little girl was very, very stubborn and kept going in and out, turning, like, she couldn't decide, like, if she wanted to come out, I guess. And I'm like, please come out. They just kept seeing her little head, and like, this little like hair right here. She had like a massive cone head when she was born. Nurse was very competitive, like how I am. She's like, okay, there's nobody else giving birth, so I can't tell you to race somebody. But I was like, she's like, your epidural bag is about to run out, so let's beat that. And I was like, oh, hell no. Like, I'm not doing this without this epidural in my body. Like, hell no. She's like, and let's try to do it less than an hour. But like I said, I gave birth an hour, 8 minutes. Like, what? And I think the epidural bag ended up running out because towards the end of pushing, when she was literally right there, I felt things that I don't think I was supposed to feel. It was hurting so bad. I was just exhausted at this point as well. So I really think that epidural bag ran out. But at least just towards the end, like thankfully, like the whole time, like this sounds kind of gross, but they kept like stretching and massaging the whole area. So that really helped with tearing. I did not tear that much at all, like thank goodness. So that really helped with tearing. So if your doctor does anything like that, like they kind of stretch, they kind of keep things moving and like massage it, it really does help with the tearing process of giving birth. So I don't know how many stitches I got, but I did not have to have that many. So that was absolutely amazing. So this little girl decided to enter the world at Friday, April 27th at 9:28 a.m. and she was 7 pounds, 12 ounces, and she was 19¼ inches long. I just remember when she was like right there and they were yelling like, open your eyes. And I'm like, I can't. Like I was literally like, I can't, because it hurt. And like I was crying and like I just couldn't. And like I'm gonna share some like pictures with you guys. They are like action ones, so they are like kind of messy and very dear to my heart. Nice double chins going on. When she was born, my husband did cry, and I saw that, and it really did touch my heart. I think we both were exhausted at that point. It was the most surreal experience I've ever had in my life. And during that time, I was like, I can never do this again. I cannot do this again. And then once it was over, all was settled and done, I was like, I would go through this again any time in my life. I would definitely go through this again. And I'm so thankful to have the opportunity to be able to have this little girl in my life and to be able to be her mom and to go on this journey together. All the pain, all the tears, and all the like stress and just everything is so worth it. She was born, she did have to have a little oxygen, but due to being born in Colorado at such high elevation and the hospital's more up north, so which is at a higher elevation, she needed oxygen, but they just waved it over her and she was completely fine. So they do that with every baby that is born in Colorado. And she did face another little something when she was born, but I want to go over that in another video, like first week with a newborn, because it was a little traumatic to me, never being a mom before, and it was a really big emotional roller coaster for me. And I want to share that with you guys and more in detail, so that if you go through or you're going through something else, that just to know you're not alone. And we did skin to skin for an hour right after she was born, and I also did do the delayed cord clamping. I told him I want to do it as long as everything is all healthy. As long as she's good, I'm good, I want to do the delayed cord clamping. So also, I did end up with a few stretch marks down lower part of my belly. Literally got them like 4 days before I gave birth. Not even kidding. Like a week to like 4 days before I was gonna give birth. I'm like, for real? For real. But I feel like this video is getting way too long, so I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm so happy to be back. I'm really going to try to get up one video a week at this point. It really does depend on this little girl's schedule. Anyways, I'm going to stop rambling and go ahead and end this video, but I love you guys so much. And if you are new to this channel, because I have gotten a lot of new subscribers in the time that I have posted last, and I want to say welcome, and I'm so thankful to have you here and so blessed. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you, and I'm just excited to share our journey with you guys. And if you have any questions or things that you want to know about labor or delivery, anything of that nature, comment down below. I'll definitely try to help you out as much as I can. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and also give this video a thumbs up. And do not forget to follow my social media, because I am sharing a lot of kind of like a day in the life most of the time on my Instagram story with her, and it's kind of what I'm doing with her during the day and things like that. So anyways, guys, I love you so much, and I appreciate you more than you will ever know, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. I love her so much. Bye, guys.